Welcome to the 2017 installment of our Football Officials video training series. We're studying the National Federation of High School Rules, 5-Man Mechanics. This video is produced by the Arkansas Association of High School Officials. Visit our website at aahso.com. We're helping good officials get better. Technical assistance provided by Dax Hill, Greg Dowlam, and George Demetrio. Our video director is Matt Bivens, assisted by Chuck Scott. Produced by Kenny Sanders. Executive producers Walt Coleman. I'm your host, Todd Allen. You want to be a better football official every week when you step on the field, and rules knowledge is the foundation of any good official. But the rule book can be overly technical, dry, and boring. It's just hard to stay focused. I personally recommend the Reading Study Guide for the NFHS rules. Its easy reading style are both informative and fun. The general overviews, in-depth discussions, and quizzes give a great practical application of the rules. I've taught football officiating to hundreds of officials, but I never hesitate to recommend the Reading Study Guide to the NFHS rules. When you're through learning, you're through. Let's start this week off with a little review of last week in the 6 categories of defensive pass interference. Take a look at this play. And receiver just goes on a little hitch or a comeback here, and the ball is underthrown. Defender is playing the ball, head turned around. Great position, a little contact. Defender does have his hand on the receiver, but he's not moving his body, doesn't cut him off from the route, doesn't grab and restrict him. Nothing that we can put into one of these 6 categories of pass interference, but we get fooled on this play and throw a flag. And I think this is just strictly not putting the plays into proper categories. Not being able to try to fit this into one of the 6 defensive pass interference categories, because as we can tell from these 2 shots, this is clearly not a foul. It's just not big enough. And we talked about that field versus film, and this is a classic example. On the field, this probably looked like a lot more than it is. But on film, you can just see here there's no advantage or disadvantage gained or lost by either player in this action. This is not something that we want called defensive pass interference. This play is incorrectly officiated. Before we review this next play, let's review the rules, the 9.4.3G. And this is illegal personal contact, page 70 of the 2017 NFHS rulebook. And it just says that no player or non-player shall make any other contact with an opponent, including a defenseless player, which is deemed unnecessary or excessive, and which incites roughness. Now let's look at this play as the quarterback drops straight back in the pocket, gets flushed to the outside, and then chased down by the nose guard, who elevates him from the playing surface, turns him upside down, and dumps him on his head. Textbook play where we're inciting roughness. This is excessive and unnecessary. This is a foul for unnecessary roughness, illegal personal contact, and a 15-yard penalty. We don't get a call here. We do have these 2 looks, both the end zone and the wide shot. And if you just wanted an example, because the rule book is very, very vague and ambiguous, although it identifies what's prohibited contact, it just leaves so much up to interpretation. But this is one we absolutely want out of the game, this kind of roughness, and this is a foul that we miss on this play for illegal personal contact. This next play, I want to introduce a phrase called double action. Let's just take a look at this play one time. What to set it up for you, this is 4th down and a yard here, the ball at the 15-yard line. And just let you see this quarterback sneak as the quarterback just takes the ball and tries to roll around the end of the line of scrimmage here on the left side and goes down. And when all the smoke clears, we got the quarterback at or near the 15-yard line, or 14-yard line, I should say. We'll go back and run that one more time. And you just kind of lose where he is, and there's the quarterback laying down right there. So let me give you this shot here from the end zone. And take a look at the quarterback now as he rolls around. We can't see this in the wide shot, but this is the quarterback right here. And you see he just, as soon as he goes around the end of the line of scrimmage, he gets a hand down, and then his rear end's on the ground right there. And you see he's holding the ball in his right hand about midway up his chest, and he's leaning back a little bit. So the ball and his rear end are about in the exact same spot, which is the 15-yard line. And then as he rolls over and falls forward, he ends up at the 14. So this is actually the dead ball spot right here, because the player has something other than his hand or a foot on the ground, which makes the ball dead. And then the second act, or the double act, this is the action. And the double action is him falling forward about 3 feet and getting this extra yard. So what we do is we end up spotting the ball on the 15-yard line and going over on downs. And we get this play in our coach's question because he sees this quarterback at the 14-yard line at the end of the play and wants to know how we cannot have this as a first down. But as you can see when you go through this end zone shot that clearly the quarterback's down. At this point, we can just go frame by frame. Bam. His action puts him down at the 15-yard line. And then this second act of falling forward is what gets the ball to the 14. Good job spotting this ball. This is a correct mechanic and a correct spot here on a critical fourth down play. Before I give you a look at this next play, let's go back to the rule book. Now let's look at 7.1.3c. And 3 just says, following the ready for play and after touching the ball, the snapper shall not, down to C here, fail to clearly pause before the snap. So that makes it abundantly clear that after the ready for play whistle, there has to be a pause before we snap the ball. So if a team uses the whistle as a snap count, especially in a hurry-up situation, but at any time during the game, we just got to shut that play down. That is not legal. And so let's look at this play. Now knowing that, I'm going to point out a couple of things here. So the first thing I want to point out, the teams are down in the stance, and the whistle has not been blown, and so that's a huge red flag. So referee, umpires, you guys need to be telling them don't snap the ball until after the whistle blows. And it's just incumbent on the teams to know that there has to be a pause there. We can't tell them wait for the pause, but we can just make sure. And what I try to do, and if time's not critical, is not let these players be in this stance down. Make them stand up for a moment. So we blow the ready for play whistle, and they'll have that pause built in. But let's just watch this play. Quarterback, they're already down in the stance. Quarterback's already running a cadence. We blow the whistle, and the ball gets snapped. And I'm going to back this up and play this without talking, just so you can hear the whistle and see when the ball is snapped. Now, even the players know that something's not right. Look, all 22 players give up on this play because they're wondering, like, what the heck are we doing? And then the coach just tells them to keep going, and they throw this big, long pass play. Now I'm going to give you a piece of advice. If you get yourself caught in one of these situations, just shut the play down. Line of scrimmage officials, umpire, back judge, referee. I don't care who does it. But when you know something's not right, shut the play down. And I'll tell you what, on this first time that this team does this, even though it's a foul, I'll totally support you if you just redo it. If you just tell the quarterback in the center, hey, you got to pause after I blow this whistle. You cannot snap the ball on the count. We don't have to mark off any penalty. Just pump the play clock back up, make them do it again. Just shut this play down. But now, with that in mind, we go another 16, 18 plays up. And here's this play, and I'm going to be quiet so you can see it again. So we clearly allow them to do this. Now, if we've shut this first play down that I showed you at first and told them what happened, and then they pull this again 18 plays later, then just shut it down and throw the flag, and we'll penalize them 5 yards. This is just an illegal procedure. It's a violation of 7.1.3c, and we'll just mark the penalty off and go on to the next play. Let's take a look at this play. This is something we don't see very often. Just a kick play here where one player signals for a fair catch here, but then his teammate catches the ball and advances. Good job here by the crew, just shutting this play down, not letting anything else happen. And the question that we got was, is this a foul for delay of game? One player signaling for a fair catch and another player advancing the ball. And no, because we did not have an unnecessary delay here. We shut the play down, and no problems with this at all. We do not want a foul called on this. This is a good job of officiating. Good heads up officiating here, and good job shutting this play down. Let's take a look at this play here. It's a wide receiver down the middle of the field here, and an incomplete pass. Get a flag thrown by the back judge. Give you 2 looks at it here, because also got the end zone shot, which is exact opposite of the view of the back judge. And a couple of things I want to caution about. First of all, back judge, after you throw your flag here, don't be in such a hurry to go get the ball, because we're going to have a dead ball interval here with your flag, and you're going to need to communicate with the referee. Let's let somebody else or a ball boy shag that ball. What I want you to do first is make sure that all of these players separate, and we don't have any mixing up of the colors. Second thing I want to do is make sure that your flag's in the correct spot. This is not critical in the National Federation of High Schools, because we know this is a previous spot foul. But we still want to make sure that we're marking the correct spot on the field. And then the third thing that you're going to do is go in conference with your referee. And you can do this with the preliminary signal of the defensive pass interference. That just gets the whole crew knowing what's going on so we can begin to make the movements. But anyone else with perspective on this play that could help the back judge on this, while he's approaching the referee, that's when you need to go out and give him information. Because let's go back now and take a look at this play from the wide shot. And I'm going to go frame by frame through this part of the play. And right when we get to the contact right here, look where the ball is. As I point the ball out here in this frame, So, did the defense gain an advantage by this contact? I think the answer is clearly no here. This is not a foul for defensive pass interference, as the ball and the contact are arriving at almost the exact same time. So, this is an incorrect call for defensive pass interference. Let's take a look at this play now, a kickoff that squibbles along the ground. Great example here of what is not a pop-up kick, as this ball just continues to squibble along the ground and then go out of bounds. We get a flag here by the line judge, and some confusion ensues because we're not sure exactly what the call is here. But what happens here is this ball is untouched by the receiving team. As a matter of fact, it's untouched by both teams. And Scott, the line judge on this, explained it to me. It plinkoed out of bounds, which is a great analogy. But a crazy play here as we go slow and look at this. Absolutely no one touches this ball. Great focus, great concentration here by the line judge on this play, and correctly officiated here for a kick out of bounds, untouched by the receiving team. The option here is obviously decline the foul and take the ball at the out of bounds spot. That's it for this week's training video. Thanks for staying till the end. We're winding up the season here the last couple of weeks, and what we want to do is just be championship-level officials right now. We're going to hit our stride and be the very best we can be. Do that by being great communicators on the field with each other, be great with the coaches, be great with the players, preventive officiating. The main thing is be a great listener, too. Coaches are going to help you, players are going to help you, and your teammates, your other crew members are going to help you. Be great listeners and be championship-level officials. That's what we do. Arkansas Association of High School Officials. Here's my email address. It's todd@aahso.com. If I can do anything for you or your crew, help you out, or if you'd like to share with me what you're doing with the videos, I would love to hear from you. For the Arkansas Association of High School Officials, this is Todd Allen saying, I hope to see you on the field real soon.